In this video, we'll be discussing how Bitcoin needs to show us strength while Cardano is strong as ever, perhaps even reaching out for that $3 target regardless of what Bitcoin is doing. We'll also be talking about something very interesting that Bitcoin is doing over here. So hey, stay tuned.
Hey guys, Krisha here. Please be cautious of any fake comments and emails you may receive from people pretending to be Mango Research. Sean and I will never, ever contact you for investment opportunities or anything of that sort. To get in touch with the real Mango team, make sure to join our official Discord chat using the link in the description below. Stay safe out there, and remember, do it Mango.
Good morning, guys. My name is Sean Dex, and I welcome you back to the Mango Grow for your daily analysis video. In this video, we'll be covering Bitcoin and Cardano. We did do a video on Matic a couple of hours ago. That video should already be up, so go ahead and check it out. Matic looking very interesting, pushing onwards towards our targets. So yeah, go ahead and check that video out. In this video, we will be focusing on Cardano and Bitcoin. Like I mentioned in yesterday's live stream, we have picked up the pace and the acceleration and gotten more aggressive on our altcoins over the past few days, because we were looking at what Bitcoin was doing, we were looking at what the altcoins are doing, and I noticed, wait a minute, altcoins have been showing strength, especially a few of them, right? And that's what we like at Mango. We like buying strength. So we haven't covered Bitcoin in a very long time. We have been covering them in the daily live streams. Of course, we look at them all the time. But in today's video, I do want to draw your attention towards Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has been doing interesting things, right? Bitcoin's been dumping, so definitely interesting in that regard. But this morning, right before this pump, actually, well, not really a pump, before this bounce, this 7% bounce that we're seeing thus far, I noticed a couple of things on Bitcoin that made me go like, huh. And I did post it in the seed chat. I posted those screenshots as well. So we'll go ahead and take a look at it in today's video. And yeah, I'm going to be keeping it simple for the most part. We're going to be covering the weekly time frame and then drill down to the daily time frame and a little bit deeper to show you guys what I found a tad bit interesting. All right, nothing like huge to like go ahead and put on a position on Bitcoin specifically on this, but definitely something to keep in mind. So with that, let's go ahead and start with Bitcoin. The rant is over. Do we start with the charts or with the dashboard? Let's start with the dashboard, actually. Where is the dashboard? I think I should have it right. All right, and here we have the dashboard, and we're currently looking at the daily time frame. As you can see, Bitcoin USD has been short for the last 5 days, and if you did take that trade, you are up 5% even after the bounce that we've had. And I did look at the dashboard earlier when we were looking at the Matic, when we were doing the Matic analysis. This was sitting around 13% returns on the short trade, right? So Bitcoin has bounced that difference already, eating into those returns. But remember, guys, you don't have to use the short trend to actually short in a bull market, right? If you for example, at Mango, we try not to take short trades in a bull market, right? We want to lean towards taking long trades only in a bull market, and the opposite, we want to lean towards taking only short trades in a bear market. But again, it depends on you and your trading strategy, your trading personality, etc. Do you want to optimize for being stress-free, or do you want to optimize for profits? At the moment over here, Bitcoin USD on the daily time frame is short. Here's what's interesting though, the 2-day has flipped short too, and this was 1.3 days ago, and you're up on both, right? The daily and the 2-day. The 2-day not so much because it just flipped. But remember, guys, okay, remember, we want to look at the holistic picture to get an idea of not only what Bitcoin is doing, right, but what the altcoins are doing as well. And that's where doing the comparison of Bitcoin and the altcoins gets really powerful, right? Regardless of whether Bitcoin is in a bear market, you may see alts in a bull market. So let's go ahead and look at the 4-day. The 4-day has been neutral, and has been neutral now for 73 days. So 2 months and almost 2 weeks now, Bitcoin has been in a neutral phase, which kind of lines up, right, with what altcoins have been doing over the past 2 months. They've been doing extremely well over the past 2 months, maybe even more, maybe 2.5, 3 months. So we touched on this, actually we talked about this in depth in the live stream, where we were looking. Let's go ahead and take a let's do that again. Actually, what we did in the live stream yesterday was we said, hey, let's go ahead and take a look at how the alts are doing against their Bitcoin pairing. And when we looked at this over the weekend, right, the Bitcoin pairing, so alts against the Bitcoin pairing, for the most part they were either neutral or long. Okay, so the alts versus the Bitcoin pairing, so alts versus their BTC pairings, were neutral or long. But when we looked at the USD pairings, the alts were either neutral or short. Again, this was a day and a day or two ago, right, when Bitcoin was doing really bad. Bitcoin was jumping down. It didn't have its bounce that it has this morning. So what did that tell us? Remember, alts versus Bitcoin were all green or neutral. But alts versus USD were either neutral or short. So you're seeing a lot more red on the USD filtered dashboard filtered against USD pairings. That told us that the altcoins were outperforming Bitcoin by a margin, right? Almost all the altcoins were green when we were looking at only the Bitcoin pairings, right? So that told us, hey, get aggressive. Sure, put your strength, put your capital towards alts versus Bitcoin, right? Your margin trades at the very least should not be sitting on Bitcoin right now, because that is wasted opportunity. So going back now to what Bitcoin is doing, and we are seeing that on the, let's switch back on over to alt. Bitcoin USD on the 12-hour time frame is short as well. Okay, so again, the 2-day is short, the daily is short, and the 12-hour is short. And this switched 5 days ago as well. Now this is where again it gets interesting. 4 hours though has switched neutral, and this switched 2 hours ago. So we did have the momentum towards the downside for the past 5 days now, right? The daily switched down 5 days ago, the 12-hour switched 5 days ago, and the 4 hours also short up until 2 hours ago. But that may be beginning to flip around. That may be beginning to say to show us strength towards the upside. So moving forward now, for the bulls to see the strength that they're looking for, the bulls want to see Bitcoin USD on the 4-hour switch from neutral to long. On the 12-hour then switch from short to neutral, and then consequently switch that neutral trend towards long, and then the daily switch from short to neutral, and then that neutral to long. So there's a lot of work for the bulls to do. Okay, so there's no point in trying to like get too accurate or trying to catch a bottom on Bitcoin. You don't really need to if you had a long-term plan to accumulate at a certain level. For example, the weekly 21 EMA or 40,000 key horizontal level, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead and do that, but don't try to catch a bottom as you wanting to. If it happens to be the bottom by fluke because it lined up with your plan, by all means, right? Great. Okay, so let's go on over to the chart now. We spent a lot of time over here on this dashboard. Back on over to the charts, and I think I have it right here. Yep. Okay, so nothing much has really changed from what we discussed on Bitcoin going into this weekly close, right? I think it was on Friday stream. We drew a horizontal right over here. We smacked a horizontal at around 45,100-ish. Not trying to get too accurate with that. And we said, hey, one of two things can happen. Bitcoin can dip underneath that level and still close above, which is essentially what it did over here, right? It dipped underneath and closed above. But once it does that, even if it does close above, it's not we're not out of the woods yet, right? I wouldn't be looking for a bounce immediately towards the upside, because what typically does happen is that we go on over for another dip to take out these lows, right? These lows over here. I'll go ahead and draw it right over there. Take out those lows, and then what we want to see is for the following weekly candle at the very least, right? So it's this weekly candle, the following weekly candle, last week is this weekly candle right over here. We'd want to see that weekly candle close above the same horizontal, right? So we got the initial dip, closed above, great. The second dip, dipped underneath and tested a major horizontal that we'll be coming to very, very soon, which is good, okay? That's out of the way now. But now, remember, we were looking for two things, okay? What was the plan? Well, not the plan really. What were we looking for in terms of structure? Looking for the weekly candle to close above the level. We don't have the weekly close yet, so it's too early to say. We have 5 days and 18 hours to go. But we were also looking for every single daily candle to hold above this level. Now, that wasn't a do or die situation. That was I want to see the bulls show me strength. Okay, for the bulls to show me strength, I want them to show me that every single daily candle closes above this weekly level. Now again, it wasn't a do or die situation, but it would make us feel a lot more comfortable, right? Did we do that? We can go ahead and first let's clear these drawings out. All right, now this is the daily time frame, and right over here, this yellow slash orange horizontal that you guys can see is our weekly level that we had marked out. All right, so somewhere around 45,000 also lines up with these daily candle closes right over here. Now here's the thing, not only did we lose these candle closes over here, but we also closed that daily candle underneath that weekly level, this weekly level right over here that we were looking at. So we failed to meet that criteria, right? The criteria that would show us strength, the bull showing us strength. Remember, it's not a do or die situation, but it would have been nice to see every single daily candle close above that weekly level, but unfortunately the first daily after the week closed underneath it. Again, not a do or die, but there are interesting things going on over here, very interesting things that it's worth keeping an eye out for. So you guys can see that we went ahead and tested the zone over here that I've been looking at since last week and bounced off it. You guys might be asking, where do you get the zone from? Well, very simple. This high right over here, this candle close over here, and this rejection push down and break towards the upside, right? That's what makes that entire zone very important for Bitcoin to defend at the very least. If we lose that zone, by the way, I'll be looking further down, all the way to around you guys don't want to hear this, 35,000 to 30,000, right? Just ballpark numbers, but yeah, I'll be looking all the way down there if we lose that zone. But we've not done that just yet. So we failed to close a daily above the weekly. We tested a major zone, so the bulls might be saying, hey, that was a good bounce off that, right? The counter to that argument is, that's not really a good bounce. There's barely a wick on that, right? We've not seen a big, huge bounce where price pushed all the way back up to at least 46,000. So you kind of want to see a candle that looks like this, right? This candle right over here, 13th of May, you'd want to see a candle like that to say, hey, that's a really good bounce. But is that all that you'd want to see, right? Or rather, like, is that the whole picture? Okay, so I would argue that saying that, hey, I want to see a wick is not enough, because really seeing a big long wick really comes down to you wanting to see that a lot of people came in and bought the price, right? Bought it at that level. But what if there's no volume whatsoever on the order books and the price goes up with only one buyer coming in and buying with barely any amount of USD, and price is pushed up because there's no liquidity in the order book, and you see a big green wick? Would that be enough for you to buy? No, right? You'd want to see actual real volume, real trades taking place at that level for you to be convinced that, hey, you know what, I'm seeing the strength from the buyers come in. I'm seeing eagerness from the market participants coming in at this level. So I am seeing a bounce over here. It's not a big bounce, but at the same time, there's volume there, right? There's volume there. But the question now is that sell volume or is that buy volume? For that, let's go ahead and drill into this candle right over here, which was yesterday's candle. Okay, we can go ahead and look at the 1 hour time frame. This is where it gets really interesting. This is where I was a little bit surprised, because I was expecting all of this volume to have come in on the bear break. But if you draw in a horizontal line right over there, okay, at least on Bitstamp, I should go ahead and check out the other exchanges to confirm that this is happening on the other exchanges. I haven't done that. But if you draw horizontal on that volume node right over there, okay, let me just go ahead and move it. You can see that volume node. I'm going to go ahead and put it there. You're going to see not a horizontal, a vertical line. If you draw a vertical line on that volume node, you're going to see that volume happened on this candle, on this green candle, on the buy candle. Interesting, huh? Interesting. So that was the biggest volume node we've had since this volume node. And what do you know? That volume node as well is on the green candle, on the buy candle. So the volume is coming in on the buy side. We're not seeing the volume come in on the bear side, on the sell side. Now, is this enough to simply go all in and get bullish? No, right? This is not enough, but it's something to keep an eye on. And we are seeing Bitcoin show some strength across this zone over here, on the zone at the very least. Could we be doing something like this? accumulation, right? This is the kind of structure, rounded structure you want to see for the beginning, okay, the beginning of a reversal. We're nowhere close. We're nowhere close to be saying, hey, Bitcoin's trend is reversing. Nowhere close. Remember, we're looking for the 4-hour to go from neutral to long. We've not even done that yet. All right, not even close to doing that yet. Then we're looking for the 12-hour to go from short to neutral at the very least, and then neutral to long. If we do that, if the 12-hour switches to long on the dashboard, and we see the signs on the charts as well, both, right? We want to see that confirmation. Then we can start saying, hey, you know what, Bitcoin is really beginning to show that strength on these weekly levels. With that, remember, we are still looking at these weekly time frames. Until then, everything on the lower time frames, everything underneath, for example, daily, your 2-day and underneath, everything underneath the 2-day should be looked at as just a booster for your long-term trade towards the upside. If you are trading this towards the downside, however, you have everything going on your favor, from the 2-day to the daily to the 12-hour and even the 4-hour, in my opinion, right? Even the 4-hour, it's not convincing enough just yet. So the bulls have to be cautious here, okay? The pressure is on them. The bears have the momentum going for them, all right? The bears have all the momentum going in their favor. That's Bitcoin, right? So remember, key levels we're looking at is towards the downside. Weekly levels are right over here at around 45,000. We've got to adjust that a tad bit towards the upside. Weekly levels, we're looking for the weekly to close above 45,000-ish. Daily levels underneath are around 42,000. We really do not want to be losing that. We'd be looking towards 38,000, 35,000 next. If we do see a bounce right over here, is it going to be enough? No, I'll be looking for something like this, okay? A lower high somewhere around here, around 50, anywhere between 49,000 to 51,000, and then I'd be looking for a higher low, right? The sooner we get a higher low, the better, okay? We don't want this to go up too high because it makes it a little bit more difficult to trade. Okay, we want ease of trade now. We don't want instant gratification. We want ease of trade. If we put in a high low somewhere around here, then I get bullish if we put in a higher high. Until that, right? And that's going to happen only over a period of weeks. Minimum 3 weeks, right? 2 to 3 weeks minimum. Could take 6 to 8 weeks. Until that happens, too early to get bullish, guys. Way too early to get long-term bullish again on Bitcoin. The trades are going to be elsewhere. But again, through a fundamental perspective, having a bullish outlook in a bull market is completely fine. Okay, damn, that Bitcoin analysis took far longer than I expected. There's so much more I'd like to talk about in regards to Bitcoin, but people don't seem that interested. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and switch on over to Cardano. All right, and here we have Cardano USD on the daily time frame. But keep in mind, guys, we've been using the 2-day time frame as our major mid time frame for Cardano as well as Ethereum, right? And remember, what was the pretense on our big Cardano trade? This chart is as messy as as it is because of how long we've been charting Cardano, right? It's been months now we've been accumulating the position, kind of like Ethereum. It took a long time for the entire trade to play out, and Cardano too, the same patience is being rewarded. In fact, we noticed how Cardano, okay, on its weekly time frames especially, you could see it very clearly. If you compare Cardano's USD on the weekly to its Bitcoin on the weekly, we were seeing the similar pattern on both Ethereum USD and Ethereum BTC, right? So Ethereum, in conjunction with its USD and Bitcoin pairing, was very similar to Cardano in conjunction with what it was doing on its USD and its weekly pairing. We had this beautiful weekly consolidation that if we broke towards the upside, we're looking for a big move. On the Bitcoin pairing, we did have a nice up thrust, broke down, consolidation sideways, major horizontal was being put in. If we broke above it, we were looking for the big move, and Ethereum was doing the same thing. So our pretense was that, hey, we are expecting Cardano to behave similarly. It wasn't just to have the same price pattern move, but behave similarly on the breaks of major daily and weekly structures. And thus far, we've been seeing the same pattern play out. Even the starter steps, the way it breaks out, holds a level, continues, right? It's been nice. It's been easy to trade Cardano. I really like those kind of trades. Similar to Chainlink back last year, guys, and the year before that. As long as it's easy to trade, Mango will be interested, right? We enjoy the stress-free way, the easy way, the breezy way. All right, so let's start with the analysis. We'll drill down first because on the weekly level, we pretty much hit our targets, right? $2.40. We hit it. Unfortunately, we did not break it. I'm always looking for those levels to break and then look for further continuation. But even on the pullback, let's go ahead and look at the pullback. The pullback was a little bit deep, yes, but there's nothing to be concerned about at all, in my opinion. Yes, we pulled back all the way down to $2. Actually, we tested that psychological level. Did we close above it? We did. The bulls came in and showed that, hey, everything underneath $2 is a value buy. You want to see those psychological levels get defended, right? They are not looking as everything above. They're not looking at Cardano as, hey, everything above $2 is a value sell, right? That's not what we're seeing on the chart. We're seeing the opposite for now. If we lose that level though, that's when we can be like, okay, then I'll be looking for a further move down to $1.82, perhaps all the way down to $1.61, and we'll be looking at the rest of the market to see how the rest of the market is behaving in comparison to Cardano. For now though, we've pulled back a little bit deeper, yes, than you'd want, but considering what Bitcoin is doing, you'd expect the USD pairing to have a little bit more of a deeper pullback, right? Cardano is still holding really well if you consider the holistic situation. Let's look at the weekly. If you look at the weekly time frame, you realize that nothing drastic at all, right? We've had a massive move, a good 128% move, and we've pulled back, let's see, from there, just approximate it, 20% from wick to wick, and around 11 to 15% on candle closing basis, right? Here's the thing, guys, it's really inappropriate to be looking for big moves on Cardano towards the upside, but not expect any volatility whatsoever towards the downside, right? Having only upside volatility without even a tad bit of downside volatility is being extremely unrealistic. You guys can't be too optimistic in these markets. You guys cannot be too pessimistic in these markets. You have to push yourself. Right, it's a fight. We talk about this in the seed program, right? There's a module on this. There's a section dedicated towards this where we talk about optimism, pessimism, realism, and it's a fight constantly to be as realistic as possible. That's your job as a trader. And if you're seeing 128% move towards the upside, well, expect a good 20%, 30% even volatility move towards the downside. So Cardano has been brilliant on the high time frames. It keeps you stress free, and we can go ahead and look at the dynamic too. It shows you how well the weekly has been respected, right? It's trending beautifully. We were looking at this level, this major level over here at around $1.05, $1.06 to hold, and if it did break towards the downside, remember what we were saying, guys. This was twisting. Okay, where's my brush? This was twisting right over here. This was getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And usually when you see the cloud get thin like that, you are going to see a volatile move, either towards the upside or towards the downside, depending on the break. And the break was really clear. If we broke $1.06-ish, we were looking for the big move towards the downside, but we didn't. We held that candle. Instead, we broke up over here, and we got the big volatile move towards the upside. Okay. Now, remember, what were the mid time frames we're looking at? The 2-day time frame. How did that do? Okay, the 2-day time frame, again, similar, right? We had a little bit of a fake out over here, closed above, and then continued onwards and upwards. Now, here's the thing. Okay, now, as we start having the trend develop itself, right, as we start breaking higher and higher, it will now start becoming more appropriate to lower your time frame, but you don't do it immediately. This trend, in my opinion, has just started, right? We are yet to see a big impulsive move on Cardano. I know that sounds ridiculous, right? But I think we could really see numbers that a lot of Cardano haters are going to be upset about, and this is why you shouldn't ever trade emotionally, because you're gonna miss out on opportunity regardless of what you think about the fundamentals. Anyways, topic for another time. What targets can we look for in the midterm and long term? In the midterm, if we clear this level over here, I'm looking at around $2.45. This zone over here that I've marked out. If we clear that level on even a 2-day candle, right? I don't think we need a weekly candle to close above that. If we close that on a 2-day candle basis, I'll be looking towards $2.80 to around $3. Eventually, though, I will be looking at $3.50 to $4 as a target, perhaps even $5. But for now, it's too early to talk about that. The midterm targets, $2.88, $2.85 to around $3 is where I'll be looking for Cardano to move towards next. The trend is beautiful. USD looking great. Unlike Bitcoin's USD pairing, Cardano's USD pairing is looking fantastic. Just look at this picture. It's a consolidation that broke up, and it's not pulling too deep into major levels yet, right? The next major level on the 2-day is only at coming in around $1.65. We do have a buy opportunity line at $1.82. If it does come down there, I'll be expecting it to get picked up, but let's see. And yeah, the weekly levels are all the way down over here, guys, at $1.56. So ways to go. Cardano looking beautiful on its USD pairing. We can take a quick look at the Bitcoin pairing, and that will tell us the story as well. Look how beautiful that is. Boom, big strong green candle, and looks like it's just consolidating over here. A lot of work needs to be done on the bear side to make this look ugly, and hey, that could happen, and it could happen fast, but it's not happened just yet. So the summary of this video over here is Bitcoin needs to show us strength, Cardano showing us strength, and the bears have a lot to do to show us weakness. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Sean Dexter. Do the mango way, do the easy way, do the stress-free way. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.